Morning. We'll start today's class. Hands folded at heart center. Feet hip width apart, pressing into all four corners of the feet, tailbone tucked under. Pull the navel in and go ahead and let your breath, your inhale, expand your rib cage. As you exhale, allow your shoulders to soften. Any tension, just release that. A couple of nice deep breaths. Continue with that. And then go ahead and release your hands to your sides. We're going to start to reach up on the inhale, pressing into the fingertips, reaching all the way. Exhale, turn the body, one arm out front, one behind you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale, stretch to the ceiling. Exhale, sweep yourself all the way down. Feel free to swing here. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. And then go ahead and soften the knees and begin to roll up. Head and neck last to come up. Go ahead and bring your hands to the back. We're going to move into a soft back bend, so just as far as your body lets you go. Go ahead and just softly move back. Inhale, come back to center. We'll bring our hands to our waist and step out into a nice wide-legged stance. We're going to bring our arms back out, pushing into the base of the palms right over here, so that you're extending these muscles along your arm. Go ahead and just swing the spine out softly. And coming back to center, go ahead and reach up with one arm, let the back arm just trail behind you. And go ahead and switch sides. And go ahead and bring your hands behind you, clasping your hands together, rolling the shoulders open. Exhale, come forward, lift the hands off of the back. Take them wherever they will go. There's no particular place. You're just reaching off of your back. Inhale. Go ahead and bring yourself back to center. Give yourself a nice breath. Go ahead and turn out one foot. We're going to inhale, arms back up, shoulder height. Exhale, come down to your version of triangle. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, move down to triangle. Inhale, up. Exhale, down to triangle. Inhale, up. Go ahead and exhale, come down to triangle and hold. Your gaze is either down on your feet or up at your fingertips. You're pushing into the back leg. You can modify by releasing your arm down to your waist or simply leaving it behind you. Whatever makes it so that your breath is gentle and soft. We're going to lower that raised arm down. Inhale the opposite arm up so you're in a revolved triangle. We're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. Keep the back leg active. Go ahead and exhale, release both hands down to the mat. Let the back heels shift if you need to do that. We're going to go ahead and sweep our arms upwards to the ceiling. Exhale, go ahead and bring yourself into warrior one. Inhale, stretch up to the ceiling. Exhale, sink to warrior one. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, sink. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, go ahead and sink down. We're going to hold this. You're pressing firmly into the ground. Your hands are at, your elbows are at a right angle and your shoulder blades are pulling back and together. Gaze is straight ahead. You're breathing gently. Make sure the breath remains soft, really important. as always, if you need to modify, you can bring the hands down to your waist if it doesn't feel good here. If you want to take your game up a little, go ahead and extend your arms up into the ceiling. So you want to be sure that you're breathing softly. Keep holding this pose, press into the ground. And go ahead and release your hands down by your sides. We're going to go ahead and push off of the back leg into the front one and possibly come up into Warrior 3, a variation. And go ahead and release. Don't take yourself too seriously when you're doing these poses. Just play with it, see what happens. If you need to grab the sofa or the wall or whatever, that's fine. You're just allowing yourself to be, enjoy the process. Don't tense up. That's the opposite of what we want to do with yoga. So go ahead and give yourself a breath here. Inhale, arms back up shoulder height. Push out the opposite foot. Exhale, tip yourself over into triangle. Inhale up. You might notice a bit of a difference in both sides. That is normal. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, come down. We're going to hold. Keep the breathing soft. If you want to modify, you can flex that front knee. You can bring this arm down. You can drop it behind you. Whatever needs to happen so that you are breathing softly. That is the most important thing in yoga. That soft breath. We're going to go ahead and raise we're going to lower the raised arm down. Inhale the opposite arm up so that you're in a revolved triangle. And we're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. Keep that back leg active. Go ahead and exhale both hands down. Let the back heel shift if it needs to shift. We're going to go ahead and sweep upwards into the ceiling. Exhale, sink to Warrior 1. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, sink. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, sink. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, sink. Hold your Warrior 1. Keep the legs active. You're pressing into them. Breath is soft. The shoulder blades are pulling together. Gaze is straight ahead. And again, feel free to modify your arms here, or to bring them up, or bring them here, or bring them behind your head. Whatever works for you in this moment, so that you're breathing gently. And go ahead and release your hands down by your sides. We're going to kick off of the back leg onto the front one and possibly come up into Warrior 3. Again, don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy the process. Be kind to yourself. And go ahead and gently release down. Come back to center. Give yourself a nice breath. We're going to walk our feet back together. We're going to go ahead and inhale the arms up. Exhale forward into a half forward fold. Inhale up, half squat. Inhale up, half forward fold. Inhale up, squat. Inhale up, halfway forward. Inhale up into your squat. Inhale up, halfway forward. Inhale up and squat. We're going to hold this pose here. You're in chair pose or half squat or whatever you want to call it. Keep your breathing gentle. You can keep your hands folded at heart center. You can place them on your knees. You can extend them overhead or out like this again or out like this again. So wherever it works for you so that your breathing is gentle, Remember, that's the key to yoga. Soft breath. Go ahead and drop your hands down. Lift the hips. You're in a soft forward fold. No tension in the neck again. And maybe you want to swing around a little bit. Release any tension, let it go. And then softly bring yourself up. Give yourself a nice breath. Nice inhale, nice exhale. We're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of balancing here. So bringing up the knee, exhale out, inhale, bring it back. And you can leave that as 3 distinct steps, or you can make it one fluid movement. So whatever you're feeling this morning, inhale up, exhale, bring it around, or inhale up, exhale out and down. So again, be gentle. Allow your breath to flow freely and softly. So I can hear my hip moving in there. And go ahead and bring it back down. Give yourself a nice breath. And whenever you're ready, other side. So inhale up, exhale out, inhale back. Just find a focal spot on the ground in front of you. Hold on to that spot, and that's really helpful for keeping your balance. And of course, feel free to hold on to a wall or something if you need to. So you just want to make sure that you're not taking yourself too seriously. Enjoy it. Allow your body to express itself. And go ahead and bring it back down and give yourself a couple of nice inhales and exhales. Always breathing through the nose. This is our breathing apparatus. This is our eating apparatus. So you always want to breathe through the nose. It allows for the enzymes in the nasal passages and the sinuses allow for the production of nitric oxide. Really important for our health. So go ahead and make sure you're breathing through the nose as you do this. We're going to do a nice breath of joy. So starting with the inhale up, exhale down, inhale open, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale again, and exhale. Come back to center and standing. Give yourself a nice breath. We're going to move into down dog. So just moving sideways on your mat if you're not already. Go ahead and extend upwards. Exhale, release down. And go ahead and step, slide, or wriggle yourself into your down dog. And we're going to walk the dog. Go ahead and come into a still down dog. So you're pushing your feet into the mat. They don't actually have to get there. You just want to allow that extension in the back of the legs. Just let those muscles really open up. You're trying to extend your spine, so if it helps you to flex your knees and that gives you a longer spine, you'll know it because you'll feel stretching in the spine, then go ahead and do that. You're trying to move your hips away from your shoulder blades. Nice deep inhale, breathe into your back. We're going to kick one leg up on the inhale and exhale, draw it forward to the opposite wrist. And you're just going to go ahead and maybe walk that back leg further back if you need to. We're going to hold this pose. If you are uncomfortable, feel free to slide a rolled mat or a blanket or blocks under your hips so that you are, again, breathing softly. Really important. If you're a little bit higher up and need that extra support, that's fine. If you're comfortable, go ahead and hold this stretch either right over here, and you want to make sure you're balanced on both your hips, not just falling onto one side. You want to be as balanced as you can. And if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can move your upper body down, extend yourself out. Two or three nice deep inhales and exhales, and then bring yourself back up. You're going to curl the back toe under, push yourself back into your down dog, and just stretch that out again, walking the dog. You're going to go ahead and kick the other leg up on the inhale. As you exhale, draw it to the opposite wrist. And same thing, if you find that, and both sides will be different, if you find you need to move a pillow or a roll blanket or anything under your hips so that you are comfortable and breathing, please do that. You can stay right here holding this pose, or if you want to, you can bring yourself down. And some people find it very comfortable to keep a block or a roll blanket right in front of them, and that's fine too. Or you can come all the way out, so just making sure you're breathing. Two or three deep inhales and exhales later. Bring yourself up on an inhale. Curl the back toe under. Push back to down dog. Go ahead and just wriggle that out. We're going to push into the tailbone and release to all fours. Go ahead and, sorry, I'm just going to move my hair out of my way. Go ahead and plant your hands so that they're under the shoulders. Hips are under, the knees are under the hips as best as you can manage. And you're exhaling when you're pushing the spine up. Inhaling when you're lifting the chin and the tailbone. Exhale, lift the spine, curl the tailbone under. Inhale, and push the belly down, lift the tailbone. Move at your own pace. Really enjoy that movement in the spine. Free up that circulation. Get things moving. Go ahead and when you're ready, take a look over your shoulder and try and find your tailbone. When you're ready, then look over the opposite shoulder and try and find your tailbone. Go ahead and come back to center. Give yourself a nice breath. We're going to go ahead and extend the right leg out behind us. The left arm stays down, and you're going to go ahead and raise that right arm up into the sky, and you're just stretching here. And if you want to take this a little bit stronger, you can actually step, so you're going to make this into an arm balance from a stretch. You're stepping out that extended leg, the right leg, and you're going to go ahead and stretch the lower one, the left one, out. And now you're balancing on your left arm with the right arm extended up. Keep the breathing soft, so it's a nice gentle arm balance. If you have any shoulder issues, you may not want to do this one and maintain that stretch instead. So that again is right here. And so you're still doing a little bit of a balance, but it's more of a stretch over here. So keeping that nice and soft. Go ahead and bring yourself back down. Give yourself a nice breath. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side now. I'm going to turn around so you can see me better. So we're stretching out the left leg. You're on your right hand, and you're going to go ahead and just open up and stretch. So you're extending that left arm into the ceiling and stretching. If you want to make it an arm balance, you're stepping out the leg instead of stretching it. You're stepping it out in front of you and extending that right leg, the lower leg, and just stretching Enjoying that arm balance. Keep the breathing gentle. And whenever you're ready, pull it back in. Stretch out if you need to. And come up softly. Give yourself a nice breath. We're going to go ahead and get back into our all fours. We're going to extend one arm overhead. Exhale, weave it through, and let yourself come into a nice gentle twist. If you want to, take that arm over your back and just enjoy this. Come back to center. Extend the other arm overhead. Exhale, weave it through. Again, you can stay where you are or throw the arm over. Bringing yourself back to all fours. Cross your feet behind you and come into seated. Give yourself a nice breath over here. We're going to go ahead and grab the knees, move the spine back and forth. So you're inhaling, pushing out the belly, throwing the shoulders back, open chest. Exhale, push the spine out behind you. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, come back up nice and tall. We're going to grab one knee with the opposite hand and exhale as you look over your shoulder. Back arm is just planted behind you, and I'm not tugging on the knee at all. I'm just holding. Inhale, back to center and opposite side. And go ahead and inhale, come back to center. So we're going to stretch our legs out in front of us, and this is something I recommend to everyone to do every day. And just roll out the ankles. And roll in the opposite direction. And push the toes out and the heels out, and the toes and the heels, and squish the toes and wriggle the toes. And squish the toes and wriggle the toes. We're going to come into a couple of forward bends. So inhale, stretch yourself to the ceiling. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, stretch. Really lift through the center of the body. Lengthen yourself. Exhale, come forward and hold. So hold wherever your body lets you hold. You want to keep the breathing gentle, remember? And we're just holding anywhere that makes it so that you are breathing softly. You want to allow some stretching to happen in your lower spine, in the lumbar spine, and some stretching to happen in the back of the legs. So as long as that's happening and you're breathing gently, you are not going to hurt yourself. So go ahead and hold that stretch. Keep the breath soft. And if you're anything like me, you'll find that different times of the day, you get a deeper stretch, or maybe a much, hardly any stretch, or wherever. It's just all over the map for me. Keep your breathing soft. Imagine as you inhale that your spine is getting longer. As you exhale, just imagine you're getting a little bit deeper into the pose. And we're just going to hold this. Stretch a little bit deeper, and then inhale. Start to slide yourself up. Give yourself a nice breath. Go ahead and pull one knee in close to the body. You're going to cross it over the other leg and fold the other one in. You're going to hold the knee, the raised knee, with the opposite arm, plant the other arm behind you, and look over your shoulder again. If you want to take that deeper, you can hook your elbow over your knee. Go ahead and inhale, come back. So again, you're going to pull it in the other knee, cross it over. You're going to hug it with the opposite arm, and this knee folds in. You're going to go ahead and plant that back arm behind you and just look over your shoulder. As I said, if you want to take it deeper, take your elbow, hook it over the knee. Inhale as you unravel. Just shake that out a little bit. Give yourself a nice breath. So I'm going to move sideways onto the mat for spinal rolls. And if you do not like rolling on your spine, you're going to grab your shins here and move the spine back and forth. If you're okay rolling on your spine, you're going to grab from underneath, inhale back, exhale forward. So it just depends on what feels good to you. We're going to go ahead and extend our legs out on the next one and softly bring the legs down onto the mat. You can bring them with folded knees or one at a time. Whatever feels good to you right now in this moment. Give yourself a moment to settle onto your mat. When you're ready, bring your arms out in a T. Inhale one or both knees up, and exhale, drop the knee or knees over the body. Head is facing the opposite direction of the knees. Shoulders are reaching for the mat. Breath is gentle. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, come back to center. Go ahead and stretch your arms overhead. Lengthen and stretch. And go ahead and release. Hands are going to go under the hips. We're going to extend our legs up to the ceiling and exhale, lower the legs together or one at a time down to the mat. So you'll bring them in, fold them into the chest. Inhale, extend to the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Chin stays tucked, so you don't want to be like this. This will put a little too much stress on your neck and shoulders. We want our cervical spine to be safe. So bringing it so that the back of the neck stays long and not pushed in completely, kind of imagining that you have a tennis ball here almost, and you're just holding that there with your chin. So the back of the neck is long and chin tucked in just so. So it's that nice Goldilocks spot. Pull the knees in, stretch the heels up, exhale, lower. Moving at your own pace, breath is soft. If you want to challenge yourself, you can take the legs straight up, exhale down. Keep the breath soft. If you want to challenge yourself even more, you take your arms up and extend them to the ceiling. Keep the breathing soft. Always check in with your breath to make sure that you're safe with your body. And one more. Go ahead and pull the knees into the chest. Roll that out. Let that just undo everything in the lower spine. It should feel really good. A nice, delicious roll the knees. Go ahead and pull them in and hug them. Go ahead and stretch yourself back out on the mat. Hands are wherever you want them in this moment. So I like them on my belly. You're going to go ahead and raise one leg and make giant circles in the sky with your legs. The other leg is on the mat and it's pushing actively into the mat. Go ahead and reverse your giant circles. And go ahead and bring the leg back down. Give yourself a nice breath here. And then opposite side. Remember, the leg on the mat is actively pushing into the mat. The other one is making giant circles. If you can, you're inhaling as you raise the leg, exhaling as you bring it down and around. And then go ahead and reverse direction. And go ahead and bring your legs back down. Give yourself a nice breath. We'll pull the feet in close to the body, hip width apart. Hands can stay right by your hips or overhead. You can also lift your arms overhead with each bridge. So we're going to do 5 bridge dynamic bridges, and then we're going to hold number 6. So go ahead and inhale up, exhale, come down. Inhale up, exhale, come down. And feet, by the way, are hip width apart. They are not out here because our hips are not that wide. Just line your heels up so that they're in the same line with your hips. Inhale up, exhale, and you don't want your knees knocking together or out here just because your feet are hip width apart. So try and hold that all in one line right along with your hips. And I don't remember what count we're on, but I'm going to imagine we're on number 5. And we're pushing the heels up and the hips up, and we're holding. If you want to clasp your hands under your hips, you can wriggle your shoulders under and hold that right there, pushing your hips into the ceiling. Breath is soft. Push a little bit higher, probably drip down a little bit, and then go ahead and exhale, come down softly, pull the knees into the chest, roll it out, that delicious nice spinal roll. You can go ahead and grab your toes or ankles or knees and happy baby it out. And go ahead and flip yourself over onto your belly. So we're going to go ahead and start with Sphinx. So over here, your elbows are just under your shoulders. Hands are nice and wide, Spider-Man style. Shoulder blades are pulling back and together. Your gaze is straight ahead in front of you. Your legs are pulling away from your body. They're stretching away. So you should feel all your muscles engaged in this moment. And just breathe And then go ahead and release down for a breath. Give yourself a nice breath here. Maybe swish your hips side to side if that feels good to you. And we're just going to clasp our hands together, and our elbows are still under our shoulders as best as we can manage. And we're just going to come up into a low plank 3 times, and then we're going to hold number 4. The modification for plank is leaving one or both knees on the mat. Again, you want to follow your breath. If your breath says it's okay, hold. If your breath says not today, then don't hold. So curling your toes under. Inhale, lift to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, 2. Exhale, lower. Inhale, 3. Exhale, lower. And we're going to hold number 4. I think that's what we said, right? We're going to inhale up and hold number 4. So keeping the breath gentle. You can modify by lowering one or both knees. Keep yourself soft. And exhale, come down gently. Swish your hips if that feels good to you. Bring your hands by your armpits. Roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale, push up to wherever you feel comfortable. Exhale, release down. Roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale, push. Exhale, release down. And once more, roll the shoulder blades back. Inhale, push. You can hold this or release it. If you're holding, your neck is long. It's not squished into your shoulders. It's nice and long. Shoulder blades are pulling back and together. Breath is soft. You can take your gaze over one shoulder if that feels good to you. Coming back, other shoulder. Coming back to center. And go ahead and move into a nice wide-kneed child. Go ahead and stretch and tug on the mat a little bit. Let your belly come through. Just enjoy this pose. Inhale, come back to center. So if you have taken any of my classes, you know that this is when you come into legs up the wall, and then we move into Shavasana. So if you have a wall where you can just kind of move your butt in up close and personal and throw your legs up onto the wall, great time to do that. If you don't have a wall near you, then just go ahead and move into Shavasana. So I'm trying to see if there's a place I can demonstrate legs up the wall. I think you're just going to have to imagine the wall, but basically, here's the wall. You go right up near it, sideways, throw your legs up, and you just hang out there. So this entire thing behind my legs is a wall. Very therapeutic, excellent immune booster. So just throwing your legs up on the wall and allowing yourself to breathe right there is just so helpful. Keep the breath soft as you do that. And you just want to hold that maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then you move yourself into Shavasana. And Shavasana has your feet, you're on your back. Palms are away, facing upwards, 2 to 3 inches away from the body. Feet are about maybe 5 or 6 inches apart. And just let the toes fall to the sides. You want to make sure your shoulders are adjusted where they want to be. And your eyes are closed. And you're just focusing on your inhale and your exhale. So inhaling as a 3-part breath. You're taking the breath in through the nostrils into the throat. You'll allow your chest to rise first and then your belly to come up. As you exhale, your belly goes down first, then the chest, and you feel your exhale coming out through the nostrils. So allowing that breath to be nice and deep and in 3 distinct segments if you can. So you'll continue that breath for about 10 to 15 minutes if you can, just following the inhale and the exhale. It's a good time to pause the video and just let yourself go. When you're ready, you can start your video again, coming up, ready for breathing. So when we come up after Shavasana, you're going to go ahead and just sit yourself in any comfortable spot, wherever. If it's the mat, excellent. If it's a chair, excellent. You're going to go ahead and just take your chin over one shoulder. Exhale, opposite shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale down. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and roll your neck over your shoulders. And roll in the opposite direction. A lot of creaks and groans coming from my neck, but it's all good. Give yourself a nice breath. And we'll start with a little bit of alternate nostril breathing because it is excellent for boosting your immunity. And these days especially, make sure you've washed your hands and you are clean. You know what, let's change that so that we're not touching our face. Let's just do a regular inhale, exhale through both nostrils. So you're going to inhale at the count of 4. We're going to hold at the count of 4 and exhale at the count of 8. So let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give yourself a nice breath. So if you can, you want to build that breathing technique up to about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's really good for kicking in the parasympathetic nervous system, especially these days with fears of coronavirus and whatnot. We are in fight or flight mode more than our body needs. We need to calm down, breathe, and just recognize that everything is okay. And as long as you can do that, as long as you can keep your breath soft and your parasympathetic nervous system working, your immune system is stronger. The less stress we bring in our lives, the stronger our immune system is. So really focus on the breath. Allow that exhale to be double the inhale if you can, and just be with that breath, and you will find yourself having more and longer moments of just calm, stress-free calm. Thank you for coming to my yoga class.